about TellMe and mobile, where the direction of mobile instruction and mapping and things like that. This has been an area a lot of companies have tried. It's been easier in other countries to use the mobile devices as more of a computing device and an information device. What are the challenges right now in this country, especially because that's where most of your business is right now?
Yeah, there are challenges with the carriers. You know, all the phones have different operating systems, and all the carriers have different rules in getting applications out there.
You know, Walt calls them the Soviet ministries.
The Soviet, and I love that phrase.
Yeah.
I think that's dead on.
Right.
It's gradually changing. The thing that I think is also critical is the user experience. You know, you can't just take this sort of the old user interface methodology of the past and apply it to these devices where you have more and more functionality being crammed into a smaller and smaller space. And so one of the things that we've really been focused on is the user experience, and we think that voice and being able to just say what you want and get it can be very, very powerful. For example, the iPhone, as great, I love the iPhone. It's an amazing product.
An important wrinkle in this development cycle, I mean, in terms of opening up the idea of opening.
Absolutely. The iPhone today with the SDK announcement, that's a great opportunity for people. And I think it is sort of the pinnacle of great user interface in the mobile environment. But as good as it is, it still takes 6 steps to change your song that you're listening to.
Sure.
That's because there's so many functions that are put on this tiny little device with no buttons on it. And so what I think is critical is to be able to say, play the Rolling Stones, call mom at home, you know, find the nearest Macy's. And that you can do while you're driving. You know, most people use mobile phones when they're going at greater than 0 miles an hour. They're doing things with phones that where they're doing other things simultaneously, right? So having menus that you have to kind of navigate,
scroll down, they're a nightmare.
Hard, So
why has voice not still? I've met so many companies have been trying to do this. What's the biggest challenge in doing it? One is obviously voice recognition, which has improved dramatically.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like touch. Touch has been around for years and years and years, and Apple kind of got it right. They put together the right combination of things, right? Voice recognition is a very similar situation, and I think we're finally getting to the point where this is going to work. What you saw there in that demo, the speech recognition wasn't actually happening on this phone itself. It was actually happening in the network. And that's a very powerful thing. What we're doing is we're leveraging the best of the server cloud computing and then the client technology to display the results on the screen. And that's a big breakthrough. That hasn't been done until just recently.
So obviously applications are on cell phones themselves as your mobile or in your car. A car would be, in a lot of these navigation systems. There's a couple now that are trying, Dash, for example. Are trying
Dash
to do that.
is a great product. They're also network-based, so there's an opportunity that we can do there. In fact, they already work with our free DA product. So if you call up free DA, you can actually have the listings sent to your Dash device.
Sure, right, absolutely.
So there's some cool things there, and I think the car, you're going to see, as the car becomes more networked, these kinds of opportunities will open up. And again, you're going to need that sort of a voice interface. Say what you want and get it in the car or on the phone. It will really be really important.
So a lot of people do think of TellMe as a digital directory assistant, essentially, with more bells and whistles. What do you see? All the trains. What do you see as the next wrinkle if you're looking forward to 3 years? How would you interact with the device?
I think what you're going to do is you're going to pick up a device and you're going to push a button and you're going to say something. Call mom at home, find the nearest Starbucks. Play the Rolling Stones, and it's going to respond. And it's going to respond pretty intelligently. I think it's going to be a lot more personalized than what you see devices today. So when you say call mom, it knows who mom is.
Right.
And these are things that I think that is the future of how these devices are going to work.
And your big competitors in this area are?
Well, let's see. I mean, it depends. If you take Google is obviously one, in terms of the mobile search application I showed you.
Right.
But
They're just trying to annoy Microsoft. But go ahead, move on.
Yeah, but we're doing more than just mobile search, right? So we're doing voice dialing. We're doing access to all sorts of kinds of enterprise kinds of applications. So, for example, we're going to have Domino's and Fandango integrated into the TellMe service.
What?
So yeah.
What are you doing?
So what we're going to do there is we're going to set it up so that when you say pizza or you say Domino's, you'll actually see the pizza you last ordered right there on the screen.
Wow.
Because we answer all the calls for
Can
Domino's
you have your
today.
pizza delivered to the movie theater?
You can have it delivered to wherever you want.
All right, excellent. Now let me ask you one more question. When you talk about this idea of more than mobile search, how do you guys get paid now? You have a deal with Domino's, I assume, to be recognized on your system, correct? Or
yes, we do. So Domino's right now, we answer all their incoming calls. So if you call Domino's, chances are you get a TellMe-based system that handles that call for you.
Right. And in terms of, and that's part of the business. What other ways do you make money?
Yeah, so that's part of the business. And then the other thing that we do is we actually get a percentage of transactions that we execute. So for example, with Fandango, when you buy a movie ticket on TellMe, or when you call Fandango, we actually get a percentage of the movie ticket.
What about advertising?
Advertising is something that you'll see us do as well. We're still very early in those days, but I do think that's going to be.
How would that manifest itself? I mean,
it has to manifest itself, first and foremost in a way that's going to be good for the user experience. So it needs to be actually helpful. So a great way it might manifest itself is, let's say you ask for, a movie theater, and you might also see a recommendation for a restaurant nearby with a coupon,
right?
Of some sort. And with the phone, the thing about the phone is that people, when they're searching for a business, they're in the process of buying something. They're not researching something. They're going to buy something. And so advertising on the phone can be extremely powerful. It's very different than the web because you're talking about, you really only want to give people 1 or 2 or 3 possible ads. You don't want to give them this long litany of things. And it needs to really be geared around the fact that they're in the process of buying something. So something with a coupon, something that makes the transaction actually happen is critical. So you'll see more, it's sort of a higher level of performance-based advertising.
Excellent. Mike, thank you so much.
Great to talk to you.